Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes, that's the new
I
bombfish.
want to
I
thank
got it
y'all.
yesterday.
Just one moment.
Captain.
There we go. There we go. I want to thank y'all for joining me, and I'm having trouble remembering exactly where we were last week, but we'll get some. We'll get to wherever we need to be. So let's dive into it.
Or mud out.
Mud high.
And we are live. So what'd you get, KJ?
Oh,
Oh,
that
the
fish thing.
ah.
Fish bomb. Yeah. It puffs up like really, not really big, but it like zooms in on my screen when it does it. And I'm like, I'm trying to do stuff right now. So I may just get rid of it soon.
Makes me think of an early episode of The Simpsons where they went to a sushi restaurant and Homer wanted the poisonous blowfish. I don't know why it came to mind, but it did.
Well, it is a blowfish. It looks like a blowfish. Puffs up like it. Or puffer fish. Whatever yeah.
And I spent far too much time in my youth watching The Simpsons.
I had a good, wholesome Disney product like that, you know. I don't know. I don't. Maybe Disney actually bought them, but I can watch Simpsons on my Disney Channel.
I think they're still owned by Fox, but Disney might rebroadcast.
Yeah.
Fox is happy to let people play The Simpsons. They've got a lot of episodes to sell.
Yeah, more money for. Oh yeah, they do.
And the show's been on for almost. Good Lord, has it been more than 30 years now? I think it's been more than 30 years now.
Could be.
I think the first episodes aired in 1987. So, yeah, 35 now.
Hey, is this our picture spot? Right here.
This would be a fairly good one. If we can get it during the day. Although at night, Yulmore's pretty cool looking at night, too.
Yeah.
Can we but uncover Elizabeth's true origins, we may yet come to understand his designs. To that end, Ishtola must needs be afforded as much time as she doth require to complete her investigation. To the extent that such things are within our control, yes. Speaking of which, perhaps that we might trouble the Exarch for news of his progress with the spirit vessel? He will no doubt wish to hear our own discoveries as well, such as they are.
Dare I ask what's going on?
Ah, excellent timing. For me, in any case. We have a problem. The vast majority of those gathered here are presently in the employ of the Guard or else one of the facets, and no longer wish to be so. In principle, all are free to change vocation at any time, but a city does require a certain number of people in these positions if it is to continue to function. As you may have surmised, we have the Warrior of Light to thank for this.
It's you! The Warrior of Darkness! You understand, don't you? Someone's going to have to look after this place once you're gone. We just want to be ready to do our bit when the time comes.
And not only here, but everywhere. Which is why we've got to get out there and lend a hand to those in need. That's what you did, isn't it? Even if it was just little things at the start. You helped people. And we're trying to do the same. We may have our sky back, but there's no shortage of people who still need help. If we follow in your footsteps, then I choose to believe we too can be heroes one day. Even warriors of light.
What are we to say to that? We can hardly tell them they are mistaken. They seek but to do good, as you have.
But no more can we stand idly by and suffer a paragon's scheme to proceed unchallenged.
What's happening to the sky?
Wicked White. Oh no.
By the 12.
A star shower.
I hear a voice.
You and all? Then why does it feel like it's inside my head?
Hear? Feel? Think?
I hear it.
Me too.
Did I not tell you, my friends? You are warriors of light!
You're back!
What you hear is the voice of light itself, and it has blessed you with its power. Welcome to the fold!
I'm a warrior of light.
I've been chosen?
Can it be?
Me, the hero.
Wait!
falling stars? Were they your doing? And why do you need warriors of light?
What, am I to reveal my plans simply because you asked? Nay, I think not. Though the stars, I acknowledge mine. A convenient illusion, apt to awaken what little is left of the power that once resided in your sundered souls. That which you and yours call the echo. And an echo it is, of a symphony, but a fraction of what men in their completeness once possessed. Even those among you who tower over others in the gift have only the faintest trace of it. But though sundered and forgotten through death and mocking rebirth, it has persisted. A whisper of our past, burned into your very ether, along with the sight of our end. Through the rekindling of memory, I have awoken the ability, just as Hydaelyn is wont to do when she has need of new minions.
The echo hath ever been thought a gift from Hydaelyn, a boon granted solely to her chosen. Yet thou wouldst claim she merely awakeneth the power that men should hearken unto? Her voice. Given the perceived simultaneity of her call and the awakening of her chosen's capacity to hear it, it is only natural that we thus attributed the source of the gift. Yet if, in truth, the echo is a prerequisite for hearing her voice, one might surmise that her call never ceaseth, such that all who awaken to their innate gift might receive of the blessing of light at the self-same instant. In sooth, we bore witness to this but moments ago. At the sight of the star shower, full many in the crowd did speak of hearing a voice in their minds, did they not?
Just so. And whenever Hydaelyn has need of new servants, she is quick to pluck comets from the heavens or create illusions of the same.
Why?
Did not mean to skip that.
Foe? You must be mistaken. As you see, I am a warrior of light. And together with my comrades in arms, I shall save the world. Just like you.
Indeed.
If everybody's special, then nobody's special.
The more Elidibus reveals, the less I understand. But that he has made a fine mess of things is plain. He is gone, then. I managed to persuade a number of our would-be deserters to reconsider, or at least delay their departure. But as many are deaf to my entreaties. Young Thaler and Vonard among them. I am sorry to say, they have quit the guard. Nevertheless, I wish them well. Whatever Elizabeth's plans for them might be, the pair have only ever had the best of intentions. One can hardly blame them for thinking themselves heroes elect, not after having been blessed with the echo. And it's not as if they haven't shown the requisite spirit. I quite agree. Though the impetus for their sudden departure may have been words falsely spoken, the men and women whose footsteps they would follow are heroes in truth. Warriors of light, Ardbert, yourself most of all. And so I would ask a favor of you. Speak with them ere they embark on their journey, and furnish them with what wisdom you can. They're set off for the Amaro launch, but you should still be able to catch them if you leave now. Worth the effort, I say. If I recall correctly, Raban took the time to usher you out into the wider world many moons ago. I think that comparison rather flatters Thaler and Vonard, but the point still stands. They would doubtless be greatly encouraged were the Warrior of Darkness himself to see them off. If thou art willing, I prithee go. Thou mayest safely leave the task of unfolding that which did transpire at Amenus to us. Amenesis. Yeah, Amenesis. There we go. You again. It's you, sir. Sorry, it's been a funny old day. You can be sure we'll take those words to heart. Still can't believe it. You coming all this way just to speak to us. I swear we won't let you down. As long as it helps someone, we'll do what needs doing out there, no matter how small. And when larger threats loom, we'll be ready to face them. You see if we aren't. I'm going with option 2. We'll be off then. Farewell, Warrior of Darkness. And thank you.
I'm sorry, can you give me just 1 second?
No problem. I'm gonna go hang out at the gate and wait for Emo.
I'm gonna run her over there.
Get out of the rain and all that.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Thank you for making the effort. I'm certain your words will be a boon to them. While you were away, the others told me of your investigation. We have yet to discuss how to proceed, however. While your findings in Amnesis Anyard do raise important questions as to the identity of our adversary, we are no closer to discerning his design. Nor do I know of any other potential avenue of investigation. For whatever reason, we must needs trust to Ishtola's ingenuity and wait for her efforts to revive the ancient device to bear fruit. What if I were to attempt to follow the emissary? Elusive as he is, his plan compels him to court public attention. He shouldn't be impossible to find. He can teleport, Thancred. Especially for one of your experience. It does seem worth the attempt. Well, I'll come with you. Safety in numbers. In combat, perhaps, but where stealth is required, the opposite is true. Happily, I don't plan on getting myself caught, so you've no need to worry. Nor do I intend to vanish for moons on end. We still have the empty to attend to, don't we? Alright then. Alright, then I look forward to your return. Sounds like the rest of us should avoid doing anything which might prompt Elidibus to look too closely at our movements, insofar as it's possible. I recommend we limit our activities to the Crystarium. Speaking of which, Exarch, might I ask if you've made any progress with the spirit vessel? Of course, we are presently studying the principles underpinning memory transference, and I believe nearing the requisite level of understanding. Less hearteningly, practical trials of transference methods suited for use with the vessel have yet to yield satisfactory results, to put it mildly. But there are still many promising possibilities we have yet to test. Indeed, though it may take some time yet, we are well on our way to the solution. And I shall not rest until one is found. Though we are all grateful for thine unstinting efforts, thou needst not labor to the exclusion of all else. It would serve to lighten thy burden, however little, I should gladly offer mine assistance. Quite. I, for my part, will do what I can to ensure the Crystarium continues to run smoothly in spite of recent disruptions. But perhaps I could help. There must be something I can do, even if it's just guard duty. Thank you, all of you. I shall breathe easier for your assistance. Of course, on the evidence of the recent past, it will not be long before some new crisis arrives to throw our plans into disarray, at which time your services will be in particular demand. That being the case, perhaps you might take the opportunity to retire to your suite at the Pendants? Pleasure as always. I am relieved to see you were unharmed in the earlier commotion. Though, if I may, you do look somewhat weary. I presume you will be retiring to your suite? Very good. Do let me know if there's anything you require. This is the first time we've canonically been back since we're not being haunted anymore.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, they are trying to make the room look a little creepy, aren't they? I don't know about the rest of y'all, but when I get out of the bed, it looks like I'm nursing a broken rib. Just the way I get up. Sir, it's Glynard from the Wandering Stairs. I apologize for calling so late. A friend of yours was asking after you. You may remember them from that business with the cardinal virtues. I suspect our cutscenes are going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll still read mine, even though I suspect it's not going to matter for you guys. Well met, sinner. I was looking forward to a welcome respite here in the Crystarium, but the mood here is not exactly conducive to relaxation, as I'm sure you've noticed. I'd wager you know more about what's going on than anyone else in the city. Care to share? Can't say that I envy you your prey. Dark work, this twisting of the Warriors of Light's legacy. Reminds me of what's become of old Dikaiosine. Though this Ascian of yours is a fair bit more chatty. I'm tempted to silence him myself. Braden made his mistakes. I'm sure they all did. But the past is in the past. They've earned their rest. My options are, I'm not about to let them sully Ardbert's good name, or I'll see that they have their peace. And I'm going to go with option 1. What? You want me to leave it to you? Right. I'm not the only one carrying all that weight. Very well, but only because you asked. Remember, if you ever need me, just say the word. I'll be there. I've been doing a lot of angry face lately. Meanwhile, in the Crystal Tower's umbilicus,
Foiled again. If I cannot imbue the infernal thing with my power via magical means, we may need to devise a way to infuse the vessel with my blood after all.
Art thou unwell?
Oh, perhaps a brief respite. It wouldn't do to overtax yourself.
I'm fine. And given to stubbornness, I'm afraid. Especially when I have a stake in the outcome.
okay, that's a much better look for Xenos.
Yeah, so it doesn't have the big hippie thing on it.
Yeah, the big, stupid suit of armor.
Yeah.
Although I don't like where he is. Or what he's seeing.
The dream again.
Looks like he's in that town with the what's his name made up.
Yeah, I think in his dream he might be seeing the real one.
Oh.
A recurring dream. They do so fascinate me. Might I trouble you for the details?
I have always dreamed of it. Fire falling from the heavens, and the city, nay, the whole world ablaze.
Indeed. Could Emmett Selk have found a way? Precious few possess memories of the final days.
The final days?
Why, yes. Admittedly, my knowledge is mostly second-hand, but if you are interested, I will gladly tell you the tale. The tale of the world's end.
Very interested in whoever this guy is.
Sorry, it took me longer because I had to type that out for you guys before I couldn't remember it.
No problem. You still in the cutscene, KJ? Ah, yep, there you just teleported.
My little dwarf girl taught me how to punch him out.
Nice. Ah, we've been venturing forth today. Do be sure to take care if so. Though they say the star shower was harmless, one can never be too careful. But I concede it is not for me to tell the warrior of darkness how to look after himself. Old habits, you understand. Ah, how very opportune. Greetings, my friend. Do you perchance have a moment to spare? Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to thank you, you see, for revealing to us the truth of the Warriors of Light. After all these years, your tale set the record straight. Finally, the people see them as the great heroes they were. Or the great hero he is, in the case of Artbert. You too were surprised to see him, I think. At the time, I was not certain what to make of it at all. But I could see the effect his words had on those around me. And then the stars rained down from the sky, and, well, you know the rest. When the commotion died down, you were nowhere to be seen. But I was determined to express my gratitude. And so here I am. Thank you for giving voice to the truth, and restoring the Warriors of Light to their rightful place in history. Should you perhaps wish to have your account of the matters committed to writing, I would be more than willing to serve as your scribe. Indeed, if there's anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only say the word. I'm going with option 2. Because I know plenty about the Warriors of Light. The situation in the city? Do you mean the people's awakening as Warriors of Light? Well, while questions remain about the circumstances surrounding Ardbert's return, history tells us that what took place may not be entirely unprecedented. But to understand that requires an understanding of Warriors of Light in a broader Varandic context. If it please you, I should be glad to provide an overview. I flatter myself that it may grant you a better grasp of that which is occurring not only to the Crystarium, but the world at large. Excellent. I shall return to the cabinet at once and look up the relevant texts. Pray join me at your earliest convenience. No rest for the righteous, it would seem. Do not let me keep you, sir. I bid you a pleasant day. Ah, excellent timing. I have but this moment finished gathering the materials for your lesson. As a great many works make reference to the Warriors of Light, I shall, with your permission, focus only upon the details that seem most relevant. Come, kids, it's story time. The Warriors of Light, you say? Forgive us, but we couldn't help overhearing. We've been out keeping watch over the Crystarium, but it appears to be business as usual. So I thought I'd spend some time brushing up my knowledge of familiars, and Alpha Node volunteered to help. I actually came on a different errand, but I'd be interested in hearing about the Warriors of Light as well. May I join you? Of course, the more the merrier. If you care to find a table below, we shall be down with the books in a moment. I feel like you ought to have your own table up there at the top floor, buddy.
Yeah.
Were one to pore over the annals of Radnick history, one would note the comparatively frequent recurrence of individuals hailed as warriors of light. Ardbert and his comrades require no introduction, but many others bore the epithet long before them. To name but a few, there was Tothwyl, legendary first king of Lakeland, Rodfort and Salyard, the fabled Drawn and Galgant duo of Verbert. And no list of Randic heroes would be complete without the Archmage Tiona of Ronka. In other texts, she too was called Warrior of Light. It did surprise me how ready people were to forget the negative associations of the title, but it makes sense if this has been around for centuries. Verily, in ages past it was simply a synonym for hero. In the wake of the flood, however, light came to be regarded with fear, the title used not to exalt but to revile. A far cry from its beginnings. And that is a depiction of the Warrior of Light from the first Final Fantasy game.
Nice.
This, my friends, is Norvrant's oldest epic, the original tale of the struggle between good and evil. In a time when all lay shrouded in darkness, a prophesied hero rose to deliver the world from its doom. Fighting in the name of the light, the hero styled himself its foot soldier, and thus did he come to be known by the title, the Warrior of Light. Curiously, in the centuries that followed, other heroes appeared who claimed the self-same epithet, despite sharing no discernible connection with their predecessors. And in time, Warrior of Light came to be a name accorded to all men and women of uncommon skill and valor. Well, well, the plot thickens. As you know, the title Warrior of Light is also used in the source. Though the manner in which individuals have earned it are many and varied, heroes have been honored thus since antiquity. Nor does the custom show any sign of dying out, as you can well attest. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It surely can't be a coincidence. Indeed not. Let us imagine a man who has awakened to the echo and is able to hear Hydaelyn's voice. As she styles him, so too does he style himself, a warrior of light. Of course, being blessed with the echo does not itself make one a hero, and conversely, there will have been no few heroes who were not blessed with it. But such distinctions are immaterial to the masses, and over time they came to use the title Warrior of Light and the word hero interchangeably. So that's about right. It would be interesting to see if the theory holds true in other worlds, if crossing the rift were that easy. I'm going with option 1. She did. I've never heard her voice myself. But I can feel her presence, perhaps through Minfilia. At any rate, assuming all of this is true, and there's a common thread behind the epithet, I doubt the Ascians will have been amused. To have the world at large associate light, and by extension Hydaelyn, with good, must have added insult to injury. While this discussion is undeniably fascinating, I wonder, should I be privy to it? Mayhap it would be better if I excused myself. Oh no, no need for that, my friend. Pray accept our apologies. Your lesson on the Warriors of Light has given us much to ponder. Oh, did someone say Warriors of Light? Rikatillo, are you alright? Ah, my precious tomes. Did I not say you must take care of the must take care in the cabinet? You too, Archie. Earwell. We're sorry, Master Morin. Aren't you? The Warrior of Darkness? My name's Rikatillo, and I want to help everyone. Please, tell me what I have to do to be a hero, to be a warrior of light.
She is adorable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't play her. She's got fangs.
She's even tinier than Chloe is.
She's so cute.
So I want to be a warrior of light, but not one that fights with a sword and all that. No, I want to be the kind that fights with potions and heals people. An apothecary. And I'm going to help everyone in the Crystarium. No, in all of Norvrant. When I told Arkhill and Earwell this, they said the cabinet should have lots of tomes about potions. But this place is so big, and we don't have the faintest idea where to begin searching. At this rate, I'm not going to get anywhere. If one knew where to look, one should indeed be able to find treatises on potions here. Even so, I fear they may prove a little difficult for one so young. But, Esteemed Warrior of Darkness, perhaps you might accompany young Rikatillo to Spagrix. Rather than through tomes, I believe she stands to learn more by observing the surgeons at their work. Sounds like a plan. It seems we finished here, so we'll come with you. I'm going with option 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have you know I'm really fast. You're going to be the rotten egg. Now, you might be fast, kid, but all I've got to do is go outside and touch a crystal, and I'm where I want to be. So...
Where we want to go?
Probably the Docile Gate's the closest. Well now, to what do I owe the pleasure of so many bright-eyed visitors? Is that the way of it, sweetie? You wish to learn about medicine? That's right. I want to become a warrior of light who uses potions to help people all over the world. Well, that is a very noble endeavor, and you aren't alone in it. No few of our infirmary yearn to venture forth as warriors of light. But ultimately, they have all decided not to pursue that dream. Huh? Why? Because the people here need them too, sweetie. The guards who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe, the artisans who toil tirelessly that we may sustain our way of life, and younglings like you who are the future of the Crystarium. They couldn't simply abandon them, you see. And so difficult though it was, they made the decision to remain. Then, does that mean my dream isn't any good? Oh, sweetie, yours is a wonderful dream, and it would be my pleasure to help you pursue it. If we all work hard, the day will come when our surgeons may set forth to aid folk in every corner of the realm. As we strive towards that day, I hope that we can rely upon you as well. Though I must warn you, ours is not an easy path. No, you must work very, very hard. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'll become the best apothecary ever. Just you watch. That's the spirit. Without further ado, then, may I entrust you with a task? I have placed an order at Sweet Sea for a potion ingredient, and I would like you to go and collect it. Oh, an ingredient. Leave it to me, miss. My, such an abundance of energy. Though I can't help wonder if she'll be all right by herself. My apologies, but would you mind accompanying her? When you arrive at Sweet Sea, speak with a woman named Gracine, and she will point you in the right direction. I shall join you. As the one who suggested this course to Riki Tio, I would assist in her first steps. And what about you two? Are you coming along too? But we do want to become warriors of light, just not the same as Riki. So we'll wait for you here, warrior of darkness. When you return, please teach us how to fight. In that case, Ryan and I shall keep them company and take the opportunity to ask about their aspirations. It's on the other side of the wall. Yeah, I didn't go to the Aethernet because I couldn't figure out which one was closer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm actually not sure I've ever been over here before.
I was just thinking the same thing. I don't think we have.
If it isn't the Warrior of Darkness himself. May I assume you're with Master Alphanode? Right. Lest you wonder, Sesame's order is for grapes. As busy as we have been of late, however, I regret to say we didn't have time to harvest them. So, it was with apologies that I asked Master Alphanode and his young companion to help themselves to the fruit on the vines. Perhaps you could lend them a hand? It's the undersized grapes you want to pick. They're too small for normal consumption, but suitable for making wine and medicine. Oh, you're here too? We're picking little grapes. It's quite fun. Wow, you've picked this many already? Amazing. I dare say we have enough between us. Shall we take them back to Chesamily? I can't wait to see what she's going to do with them. Tell me, Riki, what made you want to become an apothecary and warrior of light? Why, well, a while ago I fell sick. Really sick. My body was burning up, and I felt so weak I couldn't even get out of bed. Then a traveling apothecary came and gave me a potion to drink. It was the foulest thing I'd ever tasted, but it made me get better. She was so brave, the apothecary, I mean. She went around taking care of people, even when it was dangerous, and I decided I wanted to help people just like her. So I started brewing potions out of grass and giving them to my friends, but I didn't really know what I was doing, or if there was anything else I could do. Then not long ago, a neighbor told me that he was going to become a warrior of light and go traveling the world helping people. And I thought that was the same as what I want to do. I see. Out of curiosity, what did your neighbor do in the end? Thaler? I haven't seen him for a bit, so he must be out there looking for people to help. Thaler, one of the guards awakened by the star shower. Thank you for sharing your tale with us, Rikitio. I myself took inspiration from one not unlike your traveling apothecary, and I hope her good example will spur you on to realize your dreams. But it will not be done in a day. Such lofty goals are reached through hard work and persistence. Through countless little acts of heroism, like delivering the grapes to Chesamily. Let us know she has a little stub of a tail.
Yeah.
It would seem I have been laboring under a misapprehension. I had convinced myself that it was Elidibus who had sowed the desire to become warriors of light within the hearts of the people. But I see now that the impulse to aid their fellow man abided within them from the first. Elidibus did no more than give it a name. And as he so kindly proclaimed, we must return to our own world ere long. With the Exarch laboring tirelessly, I doubt not but the way will be found. Yet I believe I speak for all of us when I say I cannot leave in good conscience, not until we have dealt with Elidibus. This is no longer a strange and distant land, after all. Norvront has become as home to us, and her people our own. Let us return to Spagrix. It wouldn't do to keep your admirers waiting. My thanks for your kind help, sweetie. We now have all the ingredients we require. From the grapes we shall make a vinegar, to which we will add elf grass and a few other herbs to produce an invigorating syrup. Though it's unspeakably sour, it does wonders for the constitution. As part of her studies, I may just give Rikitillo a little taste. Oh no. Warrior of Darkness, if you finished helping Riki, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest to God's fighting. We already have some enemies that you can deal with. Vampire bats. The guards say they've become a pest around the Crystarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. But they shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting and we were just watching. The children told us as much while you were away, and in preparation she simply kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind that the younglings will be watching, so let's say put on a good show, yes? Right, let's head outside at once. Everyone follow me. Alice, wait, just... Come on then, children. I think Alice enjoys it when we show off.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Outside.
The bottom one, lakeside.
Everyone's here? Good. Let's get started, shall we? As their name suggests, vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and become a nuisance. To draw them out, we'll use Shissimile's lures, which work by exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats are wont to nest under the eaves, so you are like to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have here 6 lures, 3 each for you and me. As proof of a successful kill, I want you to gather up their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. Oh, you're hunting too? Yes, well, there's nothing like friendly competition to bring out the best. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, the two of you stay here with Ryan. She's really strong too, and will keep you safe. Without further ado, then, let the contest begin. They said we'd attract more if we went by buildings. I'm gonna head this way. This isn't a building, but it looks like a good spot for it. Nothing appears to have happened. I just remembered that we're in a place that we can mount, so... How many do you have, KJ?
3.
Alright.
Well, 4, but 3.
I only have credit for 2.
Me too.
Yeah, we're heading down there to the one KJ cleared by himself.
Whatever, KJ.
Once again, the quest that has a challenge to it lies to us. We had one of these back in Stormblood, where we had to go hunt something on the steppe. And it was basically just, if you go to this place, you'll find more enemies, but we got the same number no matter how many places we went, so.
Yep.
Well fought. The children were hanging on your every move. As was I, to be honest, though I know the tally. May I see your fangs for good measure? Apologies for the wait. My fangs. Not a bad haul, even if I do say so myself. Five, 6, 7 fangs for Alice. She's gonna beat us, isn't she? Which means that victory goes to Alice. Ha! I did it! In another goddamn life, you didn't even try, did you? And there I was taking it seriously. Spare me your pity next time, will you? So, children, you've now seen the Warrior of Darkness in action. What are your impressions? He's incredible, miss. The bats were down before they knew it. Our guards are strong, but the warrior of darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like him. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you may as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched him and train hard. Keep at it for long enough, and you'll be strong too. You don't mind telling us, when did you decide you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when Ardbert appeared, and I've wanted to be strong since before I came to the Crystarium. The Sin Eaters killed my father and my sister, see, and I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Ardbert said, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. What about you, Arkil? Me? To be honest, I'm not sure what I want to do. But my friends were in trouble. I know that I want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them. See the world together. It's a wonderful goal. You really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. It felt as though there was something lost. Something I'd lost that I had to go out there and find. Well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercises you can do by yourself. Thanks for showing us your fighting skill, Warrior of Darkness. We'll never forget. I understand how Arkil feels. The star shower didn't awake me to Hydaelyn's voice, but the vision of the final days, of Amuro burning. It filled me with sadness to the very pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made. It felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind, but when I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt. But lest you worry, I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intention of donning an Ascian mask. I just wish we knew what Elizabeth was plotting. Ha! But look at that. Look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're going to stand around, lost in thought, we may as well do it back in the city. Rest assured, Reen and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. It's nothing, just a dizzy spell. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. I'm fine now, not to worry. I'll see you soon. As you ponder Alizé's words, you are taken by an urge to revisit the scene of that fateful meeting. Yeah, that was kind of Ardbert's desire to become a warrior of light, wasn't it? To be an adventurer, basically.
Yeah.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
On behalf of the Convocation, I bid you welcome to our order. At times, you will stand with us. At times, you will stand against us. All that you might steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. For yours is the seat of Elidibus, the emissary, and by this name shall your every action be guided.
So you peered into my memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope. I merely avail myself of such tools as I require for the conflict to come. That which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness. I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You. You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose. The Convocation charged me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done. I will strike you down. Destroy you body and soul. All else must wait. Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness, and I will save the world. One last matter. I bore witness to your final struggle with Emet-Selch. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you. As if he mistook you for another. No. I recall not of whom he spoke. Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude. But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed. This. This is my own doing. The consequence of my recent exertions. It is the tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it. Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor. One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the first once said that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope, or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. Said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith. Such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future. And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness. Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
I've already clicked him, but I'm just waiting on you guys. He's very glowy now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Fates seem determined not to allow us a quiet moment. But come, let us have the details from Reen. I imagine he got hit with the same thing that hit Alice, and he went down.
Mm-hmm.
It happened after Alice and I saw the children back to Spagrix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumpled to the ground. The surgeons are looking after him now, and Afeldode is standing by, just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the Exedra told me where to look. I see. It cannot have but the it cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spagrix. Going to the hospital anyway, might as well break our knees on the way.
Mm-hmm. Gives us whiplash every time. Mm-hmm.
Well, at least he seems to be awake.
Yeah.
They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's ether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the fluctuations. And all of this is happening without warning? Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. When his water-walking charm failed, he was tired, and as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which in retrospect may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there was no actual fainting until now. As Alphanode observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most surely isn't old age, which leaves but one likely cause. The link between body and soul has weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kryl about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus's plot. Thus far, I have learned this much. That in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals has invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. Beasts terrorizing nearby settlements, blight ravaging crops, you know, the sort of thing. All of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus's calls for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. And you think these black-clad strangers are Asians? I do, and I fully intended to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on mine. Gods know I've been itching to get out there for a while. Mayhap Urianger, too, can be prevailed upon to join in your efforts. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Begluc and I to wrestle with the rest. Well, if you could spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. You'll do no such thing. However heedless you are of your own well-being, if you care at all for Reen's feelings, you'll stay in bed until you're needed. Alphanode and I will find Urianger. All being well, we will have news to share by the time you return. Safe travels.
Wait, where are we going?
Mordama. Revenant's Toll. And I'm surprised that Alpha Node apparently hasn't had any lightheaded issues yet. Or either that or he was carefully not mentioning it like Alice was.
Right.
I'm also worried about Istola because she's by herself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think she's been gone the longest after Thancred. What excellent, I mean, awful timing. See, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worse. Kryl's hardly had a moment's rest these past few days. We didn't want anyone to worry, so we've been keeping it quiet. Oh, but listen to me. I call myself a receptionist, and I haven't even bothered to ask you why you're here. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon. And they want to make sure there are no problems at this end. You better talk to Kryl. She's with the others in Dawn's respite. Let's go and see her. Just prepare yourself, alright? Ooh, a new door.
I know, I was like, we've never been here.
For a second there, I thought we'd switch to an Asian's point of view because my boots are kind of evil looking.
Excuse us.
You better not try to throw a jump scare at me, game.
Why is it so dark?
This way.
Because the vampires don't like the light.
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
Oh, no, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed. But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax, barely alive at all. And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
What news from the first? I see. Work on the spirit vessel proceeds apace, but our friends begin to falter. As they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul has weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their ether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon, but the Exarch is ready to attempt something. Let him attempt it. As for the spirit vessel itself, if we seek to call upon Allegan wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. I would say just give me his name, Kryl. I'll have him here in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he wants to come or not. Could you spare a moment? While Kryl goes and finds this expert of hers, I mean. There's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see. And since we might be waiting a while, I wonder if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Well, I had better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. I wonder if the doors will just stay open.
Maybe.
Yeah, Tataru has a new outfit.
Is she a chef now?
Apparently.
There you are. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Kryl, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out the Ishgardian Restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit. So I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. There. Baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. I love option 1, but I'm going with option 2.
Yep.
I like 3.
Now I'm thinking about the Jumanji sequel. How Kevin Hart's character was allergic to bread, or allergic to cake.
Yeah.
He goes, this is some good bread. And goes, that bread looks an awful lot like cake. And then he exploded. Doesn't it just? It's called Archon Loaf, and in case you're wondering, and it's what they eat over in Charlian. Simple fare, I admit, but it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Kryl tells me it's a good source of ether. So it should lend them a bit of strength at least. There's nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. That is true, Kryl. Very true. Kryl, and if it isn't Rambrose too. Yeah, Kryl, you didn't have to go and petition him. I could have drug him over here. He owes us. I trust you require no introductions either. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with an application of certain Allagan technologies. I have been keeping Rambrose apprised of the events of the first. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Loath am I to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement. Memory transference was the sole province of Allagan royalty. Its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any record of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here, empty-handed as I am. The answer being, rather brazenly, to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remained behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? This is for our friend to decide. But either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it. If you would be so good as to see Rambro's message and Tartaru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. And Kryl, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure it's everything it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. Excuse me, Rambros. As a fellow Charlian, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Roland Berry jam, but I suppose plain is best we have for sampling purposes. I see, I see. Oh no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Tartaru. Dense and unpleasant. Exactly as it should be. Just so. The very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Charlian, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment. Save for those who actually research the culinary arts, we pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon loaf was born. The creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. Yet, for its many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied, and being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. I suspect just about every Archon would say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it is all too familiar. It takes me back. If there is enough, perhaps you could spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. When you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can, and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back.
They need to force feed those that bread to the bodies. Somebody will probably have to chew it up for them.
AJ. Back to the Crystarium.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
How much does it cost you?
$180.
Okay, I'll do it then.
How was it cost you?
105.
That's also what it cost me.
I wonder why it cost us less than...
We have it set as a preferred point.
Oh, yes, that's
I don't.
Which I think knocks off either like 50% or 75% of the price.
I think it's 70 or 75, something like that. It's a lot more. Well, yeah. 75 gil less than mine.
Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? You get bread, Crystal Man.
Stop changing your body.
By the 12 Archon loaf. However did you come by this? I'd swear it had come straight from Charlian. Rambros said that, did he? His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition, and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it. But I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when you faced a similar predicament. So I ask that you have faith in me, in what we do. But we were talking about your journey before the others arrived. I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. Very wordy way of saying it's chewy.
Well, he could have, because we're going to be doing most of the talking.
True.
According to what he's saying, but...
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Ascians throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elidibus set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Ascians quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies? Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allegan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects, notably, do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes, so far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works. shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting, the test is like to take a while.
Let us be off then. We have Ascians to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
One is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
I was wondering how they were going to test and make sure this worked.
Yeah.
I mean, to test if it works, you gotta rip somebody's soul out, and that doesn't seem like a good thing to try. Also, I'm disappointed I didn't get to chuck bread at them like discus. Hast thou a moment? I would speak with thee on a matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties. Yet if Beck Luke hath the right of it, 'tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch hath been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his etherical composition. As thou thyself didst demonstrate in merging with Ardbert. However, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth have a cause for hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which our success doth hinge. The Exarch must needeth recognize his past self as simply that, himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. 'Tis a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee, and to that singular end did he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. Right then. While the Exarch literally pours his own sweat and blood into his allotted task, it seems only fair that we attend to our own. Dealing with Elidibus and his minions. Just so. And there is one other matter. In light of our deteriorating health, Ishtola should not be left alone at Andur. Might I trouble you to visit her? See that all is well. I would go myself, but I think she might be safer in the hands of one less prone to collapsing. My thanks. You leave the Ascians to us. Once they are out of the way, we will retire to Yulmore, and when Ishtola has finished plumbing the depths, I'd like the two of you to join us there. If you are bound to Anur, I suggest you go via Venmont Yards. Our friends there will be glad to provide a boat for you. Let's be on our way. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm going with option 1. From Tartaru, you say? Whatever could it be? Archon loaf, thou sayest. Why, even to hear the name doth transport me to times long past. Bread from another world? May I try some? Mayest thou, child? Thou must. That said, though I personally disagree with the consensus, I do nonetheless advise thee to temper thine expectations. Urianger loves the stuff, apparently.
Yeah.
Wiser words have never been uttered. Though it rarely darkened our dining table at home, I can attest that it was standard fare at the studium. Indeed, a slice was never far from our peers' hands. Alphinaud, you really are an unbearable snob sometimes. Do you know that? What I believe my colleagues are trying to say is that we appreciate the gesture. Tell Tartaru we'll do our best to return before she's forced to seek further supplementary employment. Right, let's be off now. We can find a drink to wash down the bread on the way. And Alphinaud's just standing there.
He's not sure how to get rid of it.
I imagine he's trying to figure out what on earth Alizé means by calling him a snob.
Probably.
I just need a moment.
No problem.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Everybody else here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Oh, if it ain't the Warrior of Darkness himself. What brings you these parts? Heading out to sea, eh? But of course, we'd be happy to help. Just say the word and I'll ready a boat.
Excellent. I had intended to speak with you alone. None of my doing, lest you misunderstand. The link between her body and soul wavers. I know not what you hoped to find here, but it will avail you naught to learn of our past.
Reviewing the records yet again? Really? You worry too much, Elizabeth. This dedication to your duty verges on obsession. And just to stop for a moment, if memory serves, the convocation speaker is La Habrea. To think some thought you ill-suited for the role, how wrong they were. But come, turn your gaze outside the window, my friend. The rains have ceased, and we have been graced with another beautiful day.
It fades. Fades away into oblivion. Does the world no longer have need of me? No. I am Elidibus, and I will fulfill my duty. Sundered though you may be, you fought for the world's salvation. For hope. Hope. Ah, it swells within me, empowers me. Now I may carry out my mission. And yet, why do I yearn for this? Why do I struggle so? I shall take her into my safekeeping. If you want her back, you will do as I ask. Show me your strength. I would take your measure. I have prepared a suitable arena. You need but ride the flow of ether.
I wonder if it's going to make us break party for this.
That's what I was just wondering, because it's not warning us when it's situations like this.
Yeah. Yep, it definitely does. Good luck, everybody. You are familiar with this place, I believe. This remembered Amaro. Or Amarat. They actually pronounce the T, so. Proceed to the capital. I shall return your comrade to you there. I'm going with option 2. You speak as if you were disappointed in me. Why? I am your enemy, and you mine. Our goals in conflict. We are fated to clash. Or had you hoped that feigned sympathy and false understanding would cast your crimes in a less reprehensible light? That I would come to look upon you as a friend? No, I didn't think that, Elizabeth. You who have slaughtered my people, who would tear down everything we have built. You who have slaughtered my people and torn down everything we have built.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You do not deny it, then. Very well. Let us change the cast of this trial. You will know what you have stolen from us. The 3 innkeepers?
Yep.
But do not imagine I crave remorse. Only justice. Well, yeah, I can't actually talk to the innkeepers, so I shall proceed.
Oh, he's a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What's going on? I haven't found him yet.
He's right out the door.
I thought we had to go find him in the capital. Or this is the capital.
All too easy, I see. But at least you now understand the rules. Thus will we make our way to the capital. That appearances should unsettle you so. I was under the impression you simply destroyed all who barred your way. Sparing nary a thought to the possibility that your foe could become someone's beloved. But come, we shouldn't dwell on the beginning when so much story awaits. Every tale requires villains. Defeat them and claim your place as hero. Well done, champion of Eorzea. Well done. Onward then. over the bloodied bodies of the fallen. You tasted many sweet triumphs yet, yes, but so too did you taste bitter tragedy. Who could forget the Crystal Braves, that idealistic, pathetic dream born of a malformed creature?
Sloppy! God damn it.
With such ease yet again, you did always grow stronger with every battle. It seems it would take more than those monsters to leave an impression upon you. Or mayhap you simply fail to understand my meaning. Not that it matters. No, I have dealt with countless heroes, and always it ends the same way. No amount of reasoning will bridge our differences, will result in happiness for all. Whatever your reasons may be, I cannot be bound by them. I can but put faith in my own beliefs, and fight for them, with all my being. How very naive. If you are willing to compromise on your beliefs, you all but admit that they are flawed. And I assure you, I have no intention of compromising on mine. Come what may, I will fulfill my mission as Elidibus. But enough talk. It is not your assertions, though, most to know, but your strength. Falsely accused of regicide, you fled to the snow-swept fields of Kurthus. Had you and the Scions met your demise that day in the Sultanate, Lahabrea might have been spared this. But not only did you stubbornly live, you hurled yourself into the thick of the Dragonsong War. Swept along by the tides of events, you pursued and slew those who sought to stop the unending conflict, just as you were bid. Plus you are beginning to limber up. Do keep up the fine form. Interesting the way the music changes in here.
Mm-hmm.
Around heroes, people were wont to flock. People who harbor all manner of motives, each baser than the last. No more than they deserve. In that end, their hand of friendship was tainted with personal desire. Knee dog. You know what comes next. You put an end to the Dragonsong War. There is no saving your comrade this time. All you can do is cut off the serpent's head. And as simple as that, a 1,000-year war is brought to its conclusion. But every end marks a new beginning, and for our heroes such as you, there is only ever conflict. Are you enjoying the walk down memory lane? I dare say there will have been few individuals for whom you harbored deep feelings, whose passing caused you keenest grief. That is what our people are to us, an irreplaceable existence that can ill be lost. I will save them, for they are my... Never mind. We are not here to talk. Let us return to the task at hand. Emperor Solus was kindled an insatiable flame. Garlemald was its name, and it raged across the land, consuming all in its path. Following the trail of ash, you set forth to Alamigo and Doma into a storm of blood. Again you fought, and again you grew stronger, so strong that we could no longer control you. Yours is an unnatural, beastly strength, and we shall lay it bare. In order to gain a foothold in the liberation effort, you journeyed on to the far eastern plains. Sorry, I have trouble reading this because the text that appears on the screen disappears too fast, and I have to go read it from the chat box.
It is not enough!
The strong are drawn to the strong, thus did you gather new allies to your banner. Yet, where ardent souls gather, so too do fires burn. In this way you did consign those around you to the flames. Burn them all, hero. Reduce them to nothingness like the ephemeral morning dew they are.
Forgive me.
Yeah, there was no way for me to get out of that. I couldn't move.
I cannot fail. Not again.
You did not hesitate. Or perhaps could not? No matter, let us turn our attention to the finale. Here we shall have a test between fellow beasts. It is only fitting, would you not agree? When I fought you in the flesh, It was I who triumphed. Will you be able to turn the tables this time? My creation appears to have lost its form. It is no easy thing to see through the eyes of a beast such as him. In any event, there is only so much to be learned by taking your measure. This way, let us try something different. Come, we continue this within. An impressive show of strength, but surely no more than a foretaste of that which Emmett Selk's conqueror is capable. Such might requires a fairer measure, to compare like with like, yes? I should just have to test you myself. Come, show me what you can do.
You have grown stronger since last we fought. The result of your trials in the first, no doubt.
Have you finished? My apologies. I freed myself as soon as I awoke, but rather too late, I see. Now, Elidibus, if you have ceased trading blows, I would trade words with you. I have a theory, you see. One concerning that which you seek to accomplish. It stems from who, or rather what, you truly are. A primal. The ancients created Zodiac to deliver the star from destruction. If the magic that brought him forth is the precursor of what we know as summoning, then Zodiac would have been instilled with a presiding desire. I found it among the records at Anida, and it came as no surprise. Were I faced with the world's destruction, I too would wish for the same. Salvation. I know that you sacrificed yourself to become Zodiac's heart. How you came to be separated from him is less clear. But if you are a fragment of his being, it stands to reason a desire for the world's salvation would drive you. And thus did you seek to inspire the masses to rise up as warriors of light, going so far as to use Ardbert as a symbol of hope.
Correct on all counts. Such is my nature, and such are my methods. I have aided heroes. I have made them. I have even become them. This served not only to strengthen me, but also to facilitate the work of my brothers, such as Emmett Selk, with his penchant for nation building.
Then you will be all too familiar with the fickleness of mankind. We change, we forget, and what little we do remember becomes twisted and fragmented over time. For which reason, you deem us unfit to carry on your legacy. But are you, yourself, free of these foibles? As the last witness of the final days, do you remember everything that was lost? Or even the things you cared about?
Get to the point.
A primal is shaped by the hope that fuels it. Even should this hope be something as simple as the world's salvation, it is the collective desire of innumerable disparate souls crying out for deliverance. Having drawn your strength from such a cacophony of voices, can you truly be sure you still speak with your own?
Your question is irrelevant. No matter how much I should change, no matter how much I should forget, I shall ever remember my duty. At times I stand with my brethren. At times I stand against them. All that I might steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. For Elidibus is my name and my mission, guiding my every deed. But enough talk. You have shown me sufficient proof of your might. As I am now, I would struggle to defeat you. Yet I have still to play all of my cards. If I could offer you some semblance of sport, your lessers would pose no threat to me. Would you not agree, Warrior of Darkness?
It has been an eventful morning. If indeed it is morning, I have no idea how long I was unconscious. Regardless, I am gratified to see that my efforts at Ander have borne some fruit. We have confirmed the nature of our foe and his plot. Now then, what news from the surface? I see. Then let us make for Yulmore at once. We have much to share with our comrades, Elidibus's parting threat not least of all. Ah, but forgive me, it would seem my belongings did not accompany me here. I will need to retrieve them from Ander. With any luck, the ethereal stream you traverse still lingers. I won't be long. Oh yes, this seems like a very wise thing for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, we're gonna shove it in our foreheads.
Hopefully not. This isn't Diablo, but I guess it could be. A peculiar crystal lies on the floor. Upon its surface, an array of lights twinkle like a tiny constellation of stars. Day 4th. Bring honor to the seat of... The distorted voice of an ancient rings out in your mind. A moment preserved in the crystal, it would seem. You notice something else glinting up ahead. Breadcrumbs? Are we following breadcrumbs?
If it leads to a little bit so we can finish them off, yes.
No, I'm running in the wrong direction. I was facing the correct direction in the cutscene, but I was facing the wrong direction when I came out. You find 3 more crystals lying on the floor. Though they differ in color and decoration, they are identical in shape. You focus on the crystals, and find the words they hold clearer than before. Behold, my friends. Embraced by the earth and caressed by the wind, vibrant life flourishes. All is right in creation. There can be no greater joy than to use our wisdom for the good of our people. No greater pride. May all know happiness now and forevermore. There do not appear to be any more crystals in the hall. Perhaps it would be wise to continue the search outside. This is what we refer to as being bored while we wait for Estola to come back.
Yeah.
Oh look, something shiny. Your instincts serve you true, and you discover another 2 crystals. As you reach out for with your consciousness, new voices begin to echo in your mind. The heavens are ablaze and the land rent asunder. What will become of our world? Is life itself to be denied? Come what may, we must not surrender to despair. If we but hold fast to hope, we may yet find a path to salvation. The voices tell an incomplete tale. Might more remain to be found? I just had a thought. They say that they summoned Zodiark and he consumed half of them as his power source, basically. Was that where Aether came from in the first place? Like, all the crystals that hold the power of Aether in them? Was that born in that moment?
Maybe.
You soon discover 2 more crystals. Rather, too soon, in fact. As if someone wanted you to find them. Everything burns, crumbles, decays. I hear the lamentations of my brethren, and soon there will be only silence. We will deliver our star from its doom, this we swear. So please, dry your tears. Whatever awaits you at the end of your search, it is plain you have yet to find it. Sure enough, your persistence is swiftly rewarded, this time with 3 crystals. The time has come. We shall rewrite the laws of creation, and we shall save our star. From this life, our Savior born. May I be worthy of this honor. I feel my soul turning, slowly but irrevocably, and the power I wield begins to seem terrible. But this is right. It is right. I haven't been counting. I'm not sure how many crystals we picked up. The tale of the crystal's weave seems to be near its end, but it's not over yet.
These aren't the actual Asians that we've already killed, are they?
Well, we've only technically killed 3, I think. Well, 4. Or, no, we've only... Lahabrea, Emmett Selk, Lahabrea, and Lahabrea's companion. Whoever, I can't remember that character's name. With almost melancholy inevitability, the 12th crystal soon reveals itself to your questing eye. Though salvation is ours, it came at great sacrifice. All that remains is to pray. To pray that we will one day meet again, beneath a blue sky. Judging by its testimony, it would seem the voice was recorded in the wake of the final days. As you scan the area, another glint catches your eye. Oh yeah, I forgot about that other minor one. You're right. My chat reminds me of the minor Asian we killed earlier in the game. I want to say it was somewhere in the patch content of Realm Reborn. Gone is the brilliant radiance of life. Replaced... I didn't catch the rest. Is this to be how it ends? For we who love the star with all of our being? No, I will not suffer it to be so. Well, well, we meet again, my new old friend. I picked option 1. How good of you to remember. Ah, I see you've been collecting stars. I speak of those crystals. They have constellations etched upon them, yes? High in the heavens, those stars shine their guiding light down upon the lives below. Fitting symbols for the convocation of 14, would you not agree? As you will have gathered, each crystal bears an account of the life of a member of the convocation as remembered by the Unsundered. Lest you worry, they aren't concepts. They are far too incomplete to be so, but they suffice for imbuing memories with sundered souls, that they might be restored to their office. Keep them. I am sure Emmett Self wouldn't mind. So how fare you of late? You are feuding with Elidibus this time, I believe? I shall refrain from passing comment on your struggle. It is not my place to do so, long departed as I am. But if I may give voice to a personal desire, I would rather you lived. If you do not, how will you keep your promise to Emmett Selk? The promise to remember. It must weigh heavy, the burden of all those memories. To one who has lived a life such as yours, I can well imagine how Elidibus's existence might seem hollow, how empty his single-minded pursuit of a half-forgotten cause must appear. But know that his devotion is not without reason, even if he himself can no longer remember what that reason is. Well, that is quite enough talk about Elidibus. I would see if you can reunite the wayward stars. I mentioned before that I was a member of the Convocation who opposed Zodiark's summoning and defected, one whose office was left vacant. Defectors, having been deemed unworthy of commemoration, no crystal exists for the individual in question. Or shouldn't exist, at any rate, and wouldn't, had a friend not created one in secret. A crystal bearing the forgotten name of his office, along with a magic of his own conceiving, a singular incantation embodying his spirit. Among all the offices, the 14th was most unusual, for while the rest sat in Amarot, its holder was charged with gaining an intimate knowledge of the wider world. In the course of his duty, he traveled the length and breadth of every land, and befriended countless folk. He encountered troubles too, of course, matters which he could simply have referred to the Convocation, but that was not his way. Nay, more often than not, he would call upon his comrades, and together resolve matters themselves. Such is the magic sealed within that crystal, the magic to summon the stars to your side. In time of greatest need, should you wish upon it with all of your heart, it will surely answer your call. And now it is where it belongs. Oh, there is no need for thanks. But nor will I hear any complaints about it either. After all, I cannot say whether I act of my own volition or by the will of my Recreator.
I was wondering where you'd disappeared to. Is something troubling you? No? Very well. I have everything. Let's hurry back to the surface.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Ah, fresh air at long last. I would celebrate my return to dry land with a pot of tea had we the luxury of time. But we must be prepared for Olympus. Given what we know, it is plain he will not be deterred from his course. And nor would I were I him. Not if it meant forsaking everything I loved. That said, I have not forgotten how Emmett Selk sought to find common ground with us, for all our misgivings. Ultimately, our differences were not to be bridged, of course, but one must always try. Emmett Selk understood this, and if his gesture resonated with you, perhaps you might consider reaching out to his brethren. Though it may all be for naught, you of all people know that there is no such thing as a foregone conclusion. Right, no more musing. We have taken far too long as it is. Our friends await us in Yulemoor, yes? Let us hurry and join them. It appears we are fashionably late. Come, our tale will not wait.
Forgive us our lateness. Master Chai, my congratulations on your appointment. By all accounts, you are a capable mayor.
Oh, I have capable friends, my lady. I must say, it's good to see you looking hale and whole again.
The credit for that lies with my own capable friend, without whom I might never have escaped my abductor.
A primal? I suppose that would explain why Elidibus has been fostering faith in the Warrior of Light. While you were enjoying your audience with the Wandering Heart of Zodiac, we were busy dispatching the last of the Black Master Ascians, a task which proved almost insultingly easy. Formidable though we undoubtedly are, they were obviously sent to provide encouragement for budding heroes. One cannot help but wonder how many times the ploy has been used before.
Master Chai, you mentioned that the people of Calusia are similarly enamored of the Warrior of Light.
Indeed, though it's hardly surprising given the state of the world. Many are still struggling to find a purpose, and it's only natural that they should take comfort in the tales.
Then the fever has spread to every corner of Norvrent. We may have dealt with his black-masked minions, but it is plain Elidibus has yet to show his hand.
Oh my! What a spectacular sky!
Another star shower.
Wait, is that... Amaranth?
Here, feel, think.
Did you hear that? That voice calling out?
No, I didn't hear anything, but... Why do I feel so... like I've lost something dear to me?
Does Elidibus seek to awaken more people to the Echo with clearer visions of the final days?
And who might you be?
Whoever they are, they've come for our heads! No, you don't! Ha! They are not of flesh and blood.
I know this magic. The rings are like unto those that the Exarch did employ in our summoning.
Are you saying the Exarch is summoning them?
Nay, yet the similarity can be no mere coincidence.
Should we make a stand here, or retreat to the Crystarium?
The ether churns around us. More of them will appear ere long. To stay would only place innocents in harm's way. We must fight this battle elsewhere.
Wait! Take one of our airships. You can decide what to do on your flight to the Crystarium.
You are a capable leader in your own right, Master Chai. The citizens of Yulmore chose well.
It's settled then. To the airship!
Alright, guys, I believe I am going to call it here for the night. We will do the dungeon and the trial tomorrow. So, until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.